They finally said the quiet part out loud. For years, we've all felt it. The prices creeping up, the perks disappearing, the vibe shifting. But now, it's not just rumor or speculation. The people running Las Vegas have straight up admitted they don't want regular people anymore. And the craziest part? They're proud of it. Let's start with what one CEO actually said, because it's the kind of quote that should make your blood boil. In May 2023, Tom Reeg, the CEO of Caesars Entertainment, was on an earnings call with investors. One analyst asked about their new business strategy, how they plan to boost profits after a shaky year, and Reeg didn't dance around it. According to casino.org, he said, "Vegas is bringing in higher value customers. When you're already running full, you're kicking out the lowest end." Read that again. Kicking out the lowest end, not attracting new customers, not improving the guest experience, just straight up kicking people out. That one line said everything, because what Reeg really meant was, if you can't afford the new Vegas, you don't belong here anymore. Reeg didn't even try to backtrack. He doubled down, bragging that Vegas now attracts Formula One fans, NFL Raiders crowds, and luxury convention visitors. High-value clientele, as he put it, and he's not alone. At an investor conference in 2025, MGM Resorts CEO Bill Hornbuckle said almost the same thing. When pressed about falling visitor numbers, Hornbuckle admitted the decline was happening among value-oriented guests, the people who used to stay at Excalibur or Luxor. But instead of seeing that as a problem, he shrugged it off. Those customers, he said, weren't worth chasing, so there you have it. The two biggest players in Las Vegas both publicly admitting they're done with the regulars. The families, the retirees, the weekend warriors who made this city what it is. For decades, Vegas was the great equalizer. You could walk into a casino in jeans and a t-shirt, drop $20 on the table, and feel like a millionaire for a night. Now, if you're not flashing a platinum Amex, you're invisible. Let's look at the math. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, MGM Resorts quietly raised resort fees across all Strip properties in late 2024. The Bellagio, Aria, Vidara, and the Cosmopolitan now charge $55 per night before tax. That's over $62 a night in fees on top of your room rate. Mid-tier spots like MGM Grand or Mandalay Bay, $50 a night. Even so-called budget hotels like Luxor and Excalibur, $45. And remember, these aren't optional, they're mandatory. You can't decline them. Add that up, and as LasVegasJaunt.com pointed out, if you stayed one night in all 90 hotels that charge resort fees, you'd drop $3,600 in fees alone, an 11% increase from the year before. It's like paying extra for air. Once upon a time, free parking was sacred. In Vegas, it was part of the deal. You came to play, they let you park. Simple. Now, MGM charges $20 a day for self-parking on weekdays and $25 on weekends. Want valet? $40 flat. Caesars properties match that. So before you even set foot in the casino, you're already out $50, just for the privilege of losing more money inside. You can't help but laugh. You're paying a cover charge to get into a casino. Once you finally get onto the floor, good luck finding a table that doesn't make you wince. According to the 2025 Vegas Advantage Survey, 3-2 Blackjack, the standard game for decades, now starts at 25 minimums during slow hours and $50 to $100 on weekends. At Aria and Bellagio, some tables don't even open for less than $100 a hand. Craps, same story. Resorts World runs $25 tables almost around the clock. Caesars properties push $50 on busy nights. Just 6 years ago, you could play $10 blackjack or $5 craps all along the Strip. Now, those games have vanished. Unless you go off-Strip to locals casinos in places like Henderson or North Las Vegas. Vegas used to invite everyone to play. Now it's daring you to afford it. Let's talk about drinks. Remember when cocktail waitresses would circle the floor handing out free drinks while you gambled? That was the unspoken rule. Keep people happy, keep them playing. Now, you'll sit there for 20 minutes before anyone shows up. When they do, you'd better have a player's card inserted and at least $50 in action, or they'll skip you entirely. And if you just want to buy a drink, Fox News recently talked to tourists who paid $14 for a coffee, $25 for a cocktail, and $20 for 2 drip coffees at an on-strip cafe. That's not luxury, that's lunacy. Even basic beer prices at casino bars are $12 to $15. And those aren't craft brews, we're talking Coors Light. The irony, half the time the drinks aren't even strong. Casinos are cutting alcohol pours to save pennies while charging dollars. If you've been coming to Vegas for years, you probably remember the legendary buffets, Rio's Carnival World, Bellagio's Feast, the cheap but solid Orleans spread. They're almost all gone. Now, the few that remain charge $40 to $50 minimum, and the premium ones like Bacchanal at Caesars hit $85 for dinner. That's nearly 5 times what they cost in 2010, but the selection and quality haven't kept up. Vegas used to brag that it was the best value in America. Now, it's proud to be the most expensive. Here's the punchline. All this greed is backfiring. According to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, visitor volume fell by 1.5 million people in the first half of 2025, down 7.3% from 2024. Airport passenger traffic at Harry Reid International dropped 9%, or about 1.2 million fewer travelers. Hotel occupancy slid from 88.3% to 81.9%, and revenue per available room, RevPAR, the key metric, dropped 13.8% year over year. Meanwhile, smaller regional casinos are booming. Laughlin saw gaming revenue up 17% in May 2025. Mesquite was up 9.7%. Tribal casinos in California, Arizona, and New Mexico are posting record numbers. Why? Because they still offer $5 craps, friendly comps, and free parking. They're doing what Vegas forgot how to do, make people feel welcome. And then there's online gambling, the real monster in the room. By July 2025, online gaming revenue hit $1.78 billion, up nearly 21% year over year. Why fly to Vegas when you can gamble from your couch with better odds and no resort fees? Vegas isn't losing gamblers, it's losing goodwill. Talk to anyone who's been visiting Vegas for years, they'll tell you the same story. I used to go 3 or 4 times a year. I had my favorite dealers, my favorite restaurants. Now, it's just not worth it. That's the sound of loyalty dying. Vegas used to run on relationships, dealers who knew your name, bartenders who remembered your drink, pit bosses who'd comp you a meal just for sticking around. Now, you're just another line on a spreadsheet. Here's the irony. The high rollers Vegas wanted so badly aren't filling the gap. Hornbuckle admitted that MGM's luxury properties, Bellagio, Aria, Cosmopolitan, have cooled off compared to their peak years, because even rich people have options. They can go to Monaco, Macau, or Singapore. They can gamble online, and unlike the middle-class regulars who came to Vegas out of tradition, the wealthy go wherever the next shiny thing is. Vegas thought it could replace 100 loyal guests with one whale. Turns out, math doesn't work that way. This city wasn't built by billionaires. It was built by working-class dreamers, cab drivers, factory workers, teachers, retirees. They were the ones who filled the rooms, tipped the dealers, and kept the lights on through every recession. And now, the city they built has turned its back on them. Tom Reeg said it best. They're kicking out the lowest end. But the truth is, those so-called lowest-end customers were Vegas. And without them, the neon doesn't glow the same way. Vegas executives are patting themselves on the back for chasing luxury, but they're missing the obvious. Exclusivity kills volume. When you make a city unaffordable to 90% of its visitors, the profits don't go up. They vanish. You can't pay workers, fund shows, or fill restaurants with empty tables, and no billionaire whale can gamble enough to fix that. Vegas used to be about possibility, that feeling that anyone could hit big. Now it's just another corporate theme park pretending to be a dream. So yeah, the CEOs finally said the quiet part out loud. Vegas doesn't want the regulars anymore, but here's what they don't realize. Those regulars have already found new places to play. Laughlin, Tribal, casinos, online platforms, all thriving because they still understand what Vegas forgot. You can't build loyalty by kicking people out. Vegas was built by the masses, not the millionaires. And if it keeps chasing the rich at the expense of everyone else, it's only a matter of time before the Strip's lights stay on, but nobody's left to see them.